Fellow Community Services, Public Safety, Housing and Development Committee members, and members of the public. My name is Rob Rubin. I'm the City of Oxnard's Chief Information Officer. Today, I would like to present the Oxnard 311 Performance Update Report. The recommendation is that the Community Services, Public Safety, Housing and Development Committee receive a City of Oxnard 311 Constituent Relationship Management Performance Update for the period of service year 7, May 1st, 2022 through April 30th, 2023, and the first half of service year 8, May 1st, 2023 through October 31st, 2023, and recommend that the City Council receive the same update. A little background first. Oxnard 311 is a free mobile app which allows people to report on a variety of different issues covering 20 different request categories such as graffiti, illegal dumping, animal safety issues, missing street signs, and abandoned vehicles. The city launched Oxnard 311 in May 2016. Since that point, there's been nearly or over 150,000 requests submitted and 18,000 downloads of the free app, which is available for Apple iOS and Google Android mobile devices. The 311 app supports 17 languages. This slide shows the app downloads by year and shows a pretty flat growth for the first 5 years at around 2,000 or so downloads per year, and a pretty sharp increase for year 6 and 7, up over 3,000 requests for downloads per year. This year, for the first half of year 8, we're trending again in around that 3,000 range for the year. This slide shows requests submitted by year and shows a steady increase year over year. More specifically, looking at year 6 and 7, they're fairly flat, and year 8 looks like it's trending toward around 30,000, which would be roughly 16% increase from year 7. There are 20 different types of request categories, but illegal dumping, graffiti, and abandoned vehicles together represent approximately 70% of all the requests. For purposes of this presentation, we'll be drilling down into those areas, but all the request categories can be viewed in the staff report. Illegal dumping requests have had nearly 50,000 requests in the first 7.5 years. This chart again shows a pretty steady increase year over year up through year 6, a decline in year 7, and the first half of year 8 looks like it's tracking somewhere around 6,900 requests expected for the rest of the year if we continue on the pace we're on so far the first half of the year. This chart shows how the staff is doing against the goal of 3 business days. So these are city working days, 3 business days. And what you see is in the first 5 years, it's mostly been above the goal, meaning it's taken longer than expected. But starting in year 6 and 7 and continuing for year 8, it's now within the goal of 3 days at 1.2 days for year 6, 2.1 for year 7, and the first half of year 8 is also at 2.1. If we look at graffiti requests, there's been over 36,000 graffiti requests in the first 7.5 years. Again, this chart shows a pretty steady year over year increase in graffiti requests. Year 6 with 6,340, year 7 was 6,740, and year 8 already has nearly 4,500 requests. If we continue along that trend, it would be roughly a 33% increase in graffiti requests from last year. This chart shows the time to complete the request for graffiti remediation, the goal being 3 days. And what you can see from this is each and every year, the staff has exceeded that goal. Year 6 at 2.4 days, year 7 at 2.6, and so far this year at 1.9, despite the growth shown in the prior slide that was pretty extreme from year over year for the number of requests. The staff is still able to keep up with these requests. Next slide talks about the abandoned vehicle requests per year. There's been over 17,000 requests so far in the first 7.5 years. Again, this slide shows a pretty steady growth year over year. Last year at 3,405, and this year so far at 1,994, trending nearly to 4,000, which would be about a 17% increase over last year. Despite that growth, the staff has been able to keep within and meet the goal each and every year. And as you can see from the line graph on this slide, starting with year 1, which averaged 12.2 days, it's dropped down to 9 and stayed at or below 10 since year 1. Year 6 at 9.1, year 7 hit a new low of 8.1, and the first half of this year, again, another new low at 7.8 days average per request. If we summarize what the city is doing well, in year 7 and the first half of year 8, the city met the service level goals in 12 categories: abandoned vehicles, animal safety, graffiti, homeless encampment, illegal dumping, litter, overgrown landscape, pothole, sidewalk repairs, street markings, street signs, traffic, general issues, and we aim to continue to succeed in these categories. The areas that we are improving in is for the first half of year 8, the staff met the goals in another 3 categories. Regarding general questions, staff responsible for this category will follow up more frequently with staff handling the requests. To make this continue path of success regarding traffic signal issues, we'll expand the 311 fields to gather more incident information and aim to fill more vacancies in transportation engineering. Regarding curb and gutter repair, we will aim to fill critical positions in the streets division. 5 areas that we need to improve on and focus on. Regarding water, waste, and leaks, we need to fill vacant positions in Parks Division, for example, a Parks Manager, and close out the 311 requests faster. Regarding trash and recycling services, staff needs to identify service issues and continue educating customers on proper use of 3-stream waste recycle service. Regarding street light out, staff will work to have inventory on hand to avoid lengthy procurement times while pursuing funding for a street light plan to identify the replacement needs for antiquated equipment. Regarding special districts, we have transferred or closed out many requests, filled key positions, added ongoing contract services, and developed a multi-year grid pruning schedule in conjunction with the citywide program. However, some districts do not have sufficient funding in the current fiscal year to address 311 requests. Regarding technical support and questions, new IT leadership, new staff, and new processes should help bring response times back down below the goal on average. To restate the recommendation that the Community Services, Public Safety, Housing and Development Committee receive a City of Oxnard 311 Constituent Relationship Management Performance Update for the period of service year 7, which was May 1st, 2022 through April 30th, 2023, and the first half of service year 8, May 1st, 2023 through October 31st, 2023, and recommend that the City Council receive the same update. This concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions. In addition, there are representatives from the various departments who provide these 311 services to the community in attendance who are available to answer your questions. Thank you.